Okay. Okay. I do. Yes. I know. I do. I am. I'm good. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I'm Tammy Carmona, and I live in Waynesville, North Carolina, United States, with my husband, Javier, and my 13-year-old son, TJ. Oh, okay. Oh, am I moving? Okay. Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where. Is that my camera? Okay. Got it. This way. Oh, back over my rug. Have a rug there. That way. That way. Is that better? There. That way. Okay. And am I looking at my camera now? Okay. This is my first Skype call, so. Okay. I am. Okay. So I'll look there. Okay. Okay. I'm Tammy Carmona from Waynesville, North Carolina, United States, and I live with my husband Javier and my 13-year-old TJ. Okay, stay that way. I'm moving. Yeah, okay. Stay that way. Okay. Okay. I'm Tammy Carmona from Waynesville, North Carolina, United States, and I live with my husband Javier and my 13-year-old son TJ. Okay. I am originally from Georgia. I moved to Colorado, and we were lived in good life, I say, in Colorado. And I was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. That it was scary, so I immediately thought I was dying, and I thought I had to get Javi and TJ closer to my family. So we ended up in North Carolina. My mom and my dad family are close, so I thought if I'm dying, I need TJ and Javi to have some support and not be in Colorado with not a lot of family. So we moved to Waynesville and we're happy here. TJ's doing really well in school. He's made friends, which is important because he has Asperger's. And we're gonna try to buy a house here and get them set up before I actually have to say goodbye. Oh. I'm gonna turn my phone off. Sorry. Mom, let me call you back in about an hour, okay? Okay, babe. Okay, I'm good. All right, love you. Okay, sorry. Always. Every day. Every day. Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. I was a mischievous child, very active, popular in school. I was like my homecoming queen and cheerleader, basketball player, softball player, um, and in a small town wanting to get out. So I got married really young. I was 17, got married, got pregnant, went off to the army with my husband at the time, and got divorced, went a little crazy, and I guess then I sold my wild oats. Do you know how they say that? So I finally moved to Colorado and met my hobby, and at that point in time is when I pulled my life together and had everything that I wanted and everything that I needed. We were just working together, and he was Mexican, so honestly, I never paid him any attention. I would come in and be like, "Hi, Javi. Good morning, Javi." As a friend, one day he's telling me about this crappy girl that he's dating, how rude she is to him, and he's still so nice. And I thought, oh my gosh, this guy. I saw his heart. And being from the South, you're kind of raised to where you don't mix. White people are with white people, black people are with black people, and Mexicans are with Mexicans. It was probably worse that I would date a Mexican than an African American. But I loved him so much. I fell in love with his soul. I took him to dinner for the first time to meet my mom, and I'm like, "Mom, I have somebody for you to meet." So we're driving over, we pick him up, and he gets in the back of the car, and my mom says, "Something stinks in this car." He was so embarrassed, but I had forewarned him that my mom's going to be a handful. And now today, if you ask my mom about Javi, that is the son that she never had. She absolutely loves him, and she will tell you he's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And that's true. So he had a good job, making money in Colorado, moved across country with me, gave up everything there, not even knowing if he could get a job in North Carolina. But he did, and worked doubles every day to get us in a place and get us set up. And now that I'm dealing with brain meds, he's working only at night, so he's with me every day because he worries so much. Makes me juices, and he really takes care of me. And so I have I've lived a good life, but I just got to where I wanted to be and had everything that was important when this diagnosis came about. So now I'm at a place where we're just kind of dealing with what we have to, being positive, and making memories. We live very cheap. Like we drive I think it's a 1996 Toyota Tercel 5-speed, which I hate, but I can drive it because we don't want that car payment. We want to use that money to take TJ and go to the water park or just memories. And that's where we're at now. So I've had a good life, but now is it's when I really want to live. I'm not ready to leave my guys because, we have this perfect and tight family. And it truly is what people want. And the people that know us will tell you that you don't see what we have. You don't see it. And so it breaks my heart to come this far and be where we're at and know that there's nothing I can do except be positive and hope that it continues. So we still say life is good. Life is still good. Yeah. Ah, I feel like I want to cry after all that. It breaks my heart. And my mom really did say something stinks in this car. She was so embarrassing. It was really bad. And Javi was so good. He sat there and smiled. Right. Oh, Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's true. She loves him. She really loves him. Mhm. Mhm. Uh-huh. Okay. Javi, who? What now? Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. My name is Tammy Carmona. I live in Waynesville, North Carolina. I'm not looking at the camera. Sorry. I'll. Ah, I'm gonna be a professional. What? There's okay. Ready? My name's Tammy Carmona. I live in Waynesville, North Carolina with my husband, Javier. We've been together 11 years, and also my 13-year-old son, TJ. Hmm. Oh my gosh. She's got a full beard now. I saw her this weekend. Okay. 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 I have three children from three, well, sorry. I didn't have three previous relationships. From two previous relationships. So we'll start over. I know, right? Okay. I have three children from two previous relationships, and Corey is 23. He's tall, handsome, redheaded with a beard, and has the cutest redheaded wife. They're the Ginger family, and they have a baby named Jax. Now, this is my first grandbaby, and when I was first diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, I prayed to be a grandma. And I wanted a grandbaby. I wanted to see my grandbaby. And then they tell me they're pregnant. Now, I couldn't be upset. I was ecstatic. And I was in there when she was giving birth. And even the nurses stopped to look at me because I'm crying so loud like a baby when I see this baby. And he's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And he has my nose. And this weekend he stayed with me. I put my wig on him. Little grandma, he's me. So my daughter-in-law Emily, I call her my daughter-in-law because I absolutely love her, and she will be my daughter-in-law. She's not yet, but they're planning a wedding for May. I think it's May. And they anyway, for Christmas she gives me a T-shirt that says Grandma, because I'm too young and beautiful to be a grandma. So I'm grandma thanks to them. So they're treasure to me. And then I have Kristen Danielle Richardson, and she is 22. And I know now that I named her Kristen so we could cut the TEN off and call her Chris because she's a boy. I might as well say I have three boys. And I knew this when she was about probably 2. I put dresses on her, she'd tear them off. I bought the big pink Barbie house with all the little Barbies, and she'd play with her brother's toys. And then I remember about 10 years old, she's in her bedroom with friends, a girl, and I hear laughing and giggling. I'm like, you guys need to open the door. So they open the door. The little girl leaves, and Kristen comes out, and I'm like, Kristen, are you lesbian? She's like, yeah. And I kid you not, she was about 10. But I knew it, and I had already accepted it before I even asked her about it. And she's grown up, you know. Now she's actually married to a woman, And she's like, if you look at her, she walks like, like a boy. Her pants, I'm like, pull up your pants over your tush. This all weekend, I tell her that. I told her that all weekend. Pull the pants up. She walks like a boy. She has armpit hair. She grows a full beard. She told me this weekend. Daddy asked me if I was taking testosterone, but she's not. It's like natural. She's growing a beard. She is her soul is a boy with breasts and girl parts, but she also has this manly beard and she's a boy. But I've always accepted her for who she is because I knew, and she's my girl, and that's unconditional love. I still call her my girl because she was my little girl. Even though she's not considering herself a girl now, I love her no matter what. I don't think the actual label we put on her matters. She's got a really good soul and she's really compassionate and sweet. And she's strong like her mama. I love that about her. And then I have TJ, who is 13. And this kid is awesome. He has Asperger's, which is a form of high functioning autism. So used to he would be like this when he would talk to you, and teachers would say he's not paying attention. And so many doctor's appointments, nobody could diagnose him. So we self-diagnosed it, Dr. Google, and we figured out what was going on. And we would put stickers on our heads and say, look at this sticker and talk to us. And he would do that. And now he makes eye contact. We talk about sex with him, girls, everything. And first girlfriend this year, this was a big move for us because I was afraid that TJ would have such a problem making friends. So many friends. He walks up the street and they meet and play this Pokemon Go game. He's just came so far. And the girlfriend broke up with him. And I'm like, so how do you feel about that? He's like, eh. So he handles things well. He's grown so much. And he is like this with my husband, Javi. They're so tight and so close. And, they take care of me. TJ will come in when Javi's at work at night. Mom, do you need anything? Do you want a drink? Or just, Javi has made him just such a good man. Like, he really is compassionate. He's like, take care of your mama. You be good to your mama. And TJ would never hug. He was not a hugger. And that's one of the things with Asperger's is touch. He makes an effort to hug me every night. And Javi's taught him that. You have to love and respect your mom. Do things for your mom and take care of your mama. And he does. He's so awesome. And the two together, I know, and this is why I know that TJ will be good, because he has Javi. And Javi tells me, TJ's brilliant, so he'll go to college. And Javi says, you don't worry about that baby, because if I have to work 2 jobs to pay him through college, I will. He will be something. I promise you that. And I know this. And so that gives my soul a little peace. And that's my kiddos. Oh, that's horrible. Make me cry. And I have on eyeliner, which I haven't worn in forever. I've been not doing makeup. Oh. I know. Oh my goodness. They are, and I call them my boys. So people think I'm talking about 2 boys, but it's really the people in my circle. They know that my boys, are Javi and TJ, because Corey's good. I know he's good, and Kristen will be fine. TJ's so young; he's still got things to do, and I know that Javi will make sure that he gets it done. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Should I tell you like that we were just friends and I paid him no attention or initially? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was true. Okay. So Javi and I met working at a restaurant in Clifton, Colorado called Starvin' Arvin's. And now I truly know in my heart that it was fate that we were brought together because I had went into this restaurant, put in an application, and I'd forgotten my phone number. I wrote the wrong phone number down. So I never would have gotten the job, except that the owner drove to my house, knocked on the door, and I go to the door in like boxer shorts and a tank top. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, hey, I'm Jeff. I own this restaurant. You put in an application. I'm like, why are you here? Because you gave me the wrong phone number. And I'm like, oh. So he hires me at my house. So I go to work there and, introduced me to everybody. And Javi was the cook. And I was like, hi. Every morning I'd walk in, I'd be like, because he was there before the restaurant would open. I would walk in about 7. Morning, Javi. And he would say, morning. I never looked at him as a partner or with any interest in that way. And we became friends and started talking. And we would actually go to the library together on Wednesdays. He never had a day off. I mean, he was working 7 days a week. And I said, you have to have a day off. Tell them you want a day off and you'll get it. And he did. So we started going to the library on Wednesdays. We started reading the same books and talking about them. And then he had a girlfriend and he's telling me all about this girl. And she was just being horrible with him. And no matter what she did, he would still be like, I'm going to bring her French toast home. And just being so sweet. And I'm like, oh, when has a man ever been this sweet to me? And I saw his heart. And I was we were working one day, and I was joking. I had gum in my mouth, and I'm like, Javi, you want a piece of gum? And how you stick that gum out between your teeth. So I did that. And he's like, yeah. So in a restaurant, there's always a walk-in cooler where they keep food. So I walk back to the walk-in. He walks back to the walk-in, and we kissed in the walk-in. And then I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, your lips are really soft. I remember that because I was like, wow. Impressive. Come on in, babe. And
Baby, I gotta go.
okay, I love you.
I love you so much.
My husband. Did I just mess up our whole story?
Baby, I don't want to bother you.
Okay, I love you. Do you want to see him? He's going to work. Say hi. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
You have to come peek right here.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice. To meet you. Yeah, love you, baby.
Bye, baby.
Love you so much.
He kisses me on the head. His mom always used to kiss him on the head. I'm good, baby.
Thank you, you.
I will. Oh, he's precious. But and we just started seeing each other after that, and I'm telling you, it was a month we were living together. And it was hard because Javi was illegal, but he was upfront with me and he told me, I'm illegal. This is going to make your life hard. And I said, I love you. I don't care. And so it was hard. I would drive him to work every morning. I'd get up at 4:30, drive him to work. I would come back home, get ready for work, I'd go back to work. Well, drop TJ off, then I would go to work. And it was always, anywhere we went, I would have to drive. I would have to, there was no pulling a home loan, with him because, he was illegal. No car loans, we had a house and a car and everything, but with Javi being illegal, everything was so much harder. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter because our life was so much happier. So I'm blessed to have met him, and I know it. Yeah. Well, I um I had a good life growing up. My parents were divorced. My mom was um always working and taking care of us, always at every game, ball game, anything, she was there. Um, and then when I got married, in my head, I was going to be married one time and have my kids and happy family and live, forever like that. But life's not a fairy tale, and it takes two people and good circumstances, I guess. It's not even the people, really. It's just everything. And age should be considered also. So, um, oh, I can't hear you. Oh, truck or something going by. Yeah. Yeah, age also because I was so young. But divorce devastated me. And I just kind of um, just went a little wild and just unfocused. And for me, I really do feel like I met Javi at the perfect time in my life. Maybe if I'd have met him at 20, it wouldn't have worked and I wouldn't have respected and appreciated who he was. So I've had, I feel like I've had a good life. I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes, but I also feel like I've learned from those mistakes, and that's why I am who I am today and where I am today, and that's why I'm able to stay strong and have faith and still live with what I'm living with and all the treatments I go through and the pain that I live with. It's not easy. So, oh, I have a sign. Do you want me to go get my sign and show you? Let me get it out of my living room. We had it made. Now I have to sit back down right, but can you see that? It is what it is. We had this made because we're like, it is what it is. We can't change it. We have to adjust and find a way to live with it. And that is our life motto. We even had this sign made for our living room, and it hangs in the living room because it's like, oh my gosh, here we are. We have brain mets, and it is what it is. What are we going to do? We can't change it. So we adjust. We cry. We take a day and we cry until our eyes are puffy and we can't cry anymore. And then we readjust and say, let's deal with this. And that is our family motto, my life motto. I used to say life is good. Now I say it is what it is, and life is still good. But that's our motto now. So we keep that sign in there. Makes me cry too. Yeah. Ugh. hmm Well, it was February 2013, and it was on a Wednesday. And I told you before that, Javi was working every day, and I told him he needed a day off. So Wednesday was his day off. So that was our day. And we would do all of our things. So I made a mammogram appointment for that day. Even my doctor had said, oh, you're 39, you don't need a mammogram. It's probably a little lymph gland or something, it's nothing. Well, I did it anyway, so I went in for a mammogram. The lady doing the mammogram said, hold on a second, let me get the doctor. And I was like, oh no, this is not good news. The doctor looked and he's like, hold on a second. And he comes back in with another guy who says, yeah, we're going to set you up for a biopsy. So I knew immediately that it was cancer. I didn't know how bad, but I knew it was cancer. So we went on the 14th, Valentine's Day, for a biopsy. They biopsied it and told me it was cancer. And he's like, I went to a surgeon for a mastectomy. He said, oh, it's not much. We should just take the one breast away and you'll be fine, little chemo. And I was like, nope, you know what? Take them both, because if one's trying to kill me, the other one's going to try later. So they took them both off. And only after that did they send me to an actual oncologist. And she sent me for scans, and she said, you're stage 4. It's already spread. It had spread to my hip, my rib, and my spine, and my lungs at that time. So after having a double mastectomy, I heard that news. And she said, I would have never gave you that surgery, being that you're stage 4. But it had already happened. So I went on with that. And I did not do reconstruction because I didn't know if I was dying or living. And I started chemo. I did 18 rounds of chemo. And it was really hard. But I came through that, and my scans were clean. So I just said, well, my scans are clean. I'm not dying. I may be stage 4, but I'm not dying right now. And I went that summer with no breasts, no hair, and I even had a field trip with my son TJ and his class. And you would know, because I have no breasts and no hair, the field trip is at the Ouray Hot Springs pool. So I have to wear a bathing suit with no breasts and no hair. And I asked TJ, how do you feel about this, baby? And he's like, it's okay, Mom. I don't care. So I did. I said, I'm going to be a big girl, pull up my big girl panties and wear a bathing suit. And I did. I was so proud of myself. And everybody stared at me. Everybody stared at me. But they were all so sweet and would say, you look so great. Now, I knew they were lying, but it was very humbling to where I was like, huh, whatever. And I was so proud of myself for going to that school field trip at the pool in a bikini with no boobs, no hair. And I was more proud of my husband for standing beside me and for TJ for not caring about his classmates. And so that was awesome. But after that, when I would wear a tank top, I would have a hole here, and a bone here. So it wasn't like I was flat-chested. Had I been flat-chested, I would have just kept it that way. But I changed my attitude. I thought, I'm going to live, and I'm going to have some breasts back. So I started, and I put in expanders first. Every week they would fill them with more and more. And then I went in for a reconstruction surgery. So I have breasts, but I have no nipples. Just a scar from here to here. And I keep thinking I'm going to put a big lion on my chest and his eyes could be my nipples. I'm going to get that done too. You know, if I live another year, that's my tattoo. So I had that done. And I was still afraid of dying. So we did move to North Carolina. I found an oncologist here, and he's younger, so I was skeptical. But I ended up loving him. And he kept me on my maintenance meds until the cancer came back. So it was in my brain. He sent me to a radiologist, and I just finished 15 rounds of whole brain radiation, which is radiating your brain entirely every week for 15 weeks. That was horrible. But I made it through that. And then the next week I went in and had my ovaries removed because I had a tumor about that big in one of my ovaries. So I had those removed. 2 days after that, I went back into the radiologist and had the cyberknife surgery because there's a tumor right behind this eye about that big. And I'm hoping that it busted it up. I don't know, until October I'll have scans again and see where I'm at. I know that realistically, if you look at statistics, they say once you develop brain mets, you have 11 months. Now, I don't consider myself a statistic. I think I would be dead by now if I were. So I just push on and keep going and eat what I can eat. All the radiations changed my taste where everything's so salty. Right now, no joke, today I've ate a piece of corn on the cob and 4 chicken nuggets. It disgusts me, but That's all I can eat right now. I am like, my husband's juicing me. Juices, juices, juices. Put the beet in the blender, carrot. This is probably the only way I'm going to the restroom because who can live off corn and chicken nuggets? But it's all my body can handle. I want a pizza, so we order a pizza and I can't eat it. We go to Mexican, I can't eat it. So I've given up. I'm juicing corn on the cob and chicken. And that's where I'm at now until tomorrow's my shot day. I'll go get shots for my bones and another shot that goes with my chemo pill I'm taking every day. And then I'll do scans to see what's going on in my lung because not only had it spread to my brain, it spread to my lung, my rib, my hip, and my spine. It was just important initially to tackle the brain first because that was most urgent. So that's done, and now we're going to do a scan this month and see what's going on here and decide a treatment plan for that. And we're hoping the new chemo pill that I'm on is working. The lung will show that. In October, we'll do a scan on my brain to see how that all turned out. Hopefully, it did some good and can buy me a little time. I don't think, however, I'll ever have hair again because my hair is growing at the nape of my neck. I think I can grow a little ponytail back here, but this is bald. Nothing's coming in. So I have pretty wigs. I could wear them, but I don't really care that much because they itch so bad I go around bald. But if I want to be beautiful, I can turn heads with this long blonde wig I have that comes to my rear. But I stick to the bald right now. And that's where I'm at with treatment. I'm just kind of waiting for scans to see what's next. Because there's always something. When you're stage 4, you don't stop treatment. You're always in treatment. So it's just, how bad is it? That's what I have to wait and see. I have been so strong about it. When I heard brain mets, I knew it's a different animal because there's a blood-brain barrier. I can go sit in a chemo chair for, my lungs or my liver, but I know there's not many chemos that will cross that blood-brain barrier and go. And I mean, realistically, I've already had 15 rounds of whole brain radiation and the gamma knife. I mean, how much radiation can you do to your brain? So I know now that cancer making its way to my brain has given me limited options, and I have a list of drugs that I know I could go through for my lungs or whatever, but not for your brain. So I know that I knew being stage 4 had just cut my time in half, but I knew that once I heard mets to my brain, I knew that had even cut that more in half. So it's devastating. I'm devastated about it because I want to live. I'm where I want to be in my life. And I want to live with I pray every night, God, please let me see TJ graduate. Give me that time. Let me raise him. And, but I do have a cry day with Javi every once in a while when we get bad news. But it's hard to talk about it because it's easier to live in denial than to be like, I cannot be here this time next year. And we should talk about this and we should deal with this. And sometimes for the people around you, it's easier not to talk about it for them, which is really hard. It's really hard. So Javi will give me my day. Listen, I need to talk about this, so let's talk about this. So we do. And I write in a journal to him, and I talk about women and women around us, people in our life that may be like, Javi. I'm jealous about that too, by the way. I'm so damn jealous about some woman coming in and being able to give my husband a baby, which I can't do. And so jealous that she can grow old with him on a porch and I can't. So I'm I'm devastated about the cancer, and I just I feel robbed and cheated. But at the same time, I have this fighting spirit that says, I want to live, damn it, and you're not going to take it this easily. I'm going to fight with everything that I have. And that's what I do. But it's not easy. but I'm living. Yeah. Ugh, there are the tears. Ugh. Well, I'll tell you what. I went to the my oncologist sent me to the radiologist who says we have to get on this fast. And she's like, I said, I hit my 4-year mark in February. And she says, I'm going to give you this brain pill so that we don't affect your memory because you're going to hit that 4-year mark. And I have faith in that. And, she won't say, I'm going to give you a 5-year mark or something. She has no, she says, each individual is different. How treatment works on you is different. So she won't go past that, but she went there. So I was happy for that. But I tell you, she sent me to a gynecologist who was going to take my ovaries out. And no doctor has ever made me feel the way that he made me feel. I went in and saw him. He did an examination. He looked at my scans and he said, why do you want to have your ovaries removed? And I said, because there's a tumor in my ovary, so I want it removed. He said, but you have metastatic breast cancer and you have mets to your brain. Why are you worried about your ovary? And I said, because I'm fighting this. And he's like, well, I think it's an unnecessary surgery, but I will do it if you're sure. But I want to tell you, I think it's unnecessary. And I was devastated because for me, he's telling me, you have brain mets. Why are you going to take your ovaries out? Why are you going to fight this? It's not even worth it. So, that was a slap for me. And I went back to my radiologist and I'm like, this doctor, I've never felt like this doctor made me feel. And she said, well, that's because he deals with ovarian cancer. He doesn't understand what we can do now. And so, we went back and had my peace with the doctor and everything was fine. He did my ovary surgery and there was a tumor that big. So I'm glad we got it out. I mean, why leave that? If I could take it all out, I would. But, so he scared me. He's the only one that's really scared me, but he scared me. Ah! Oh, I'll tell you something else. Let me tell you what my first oncologist said to me. I was saying, please tell me I'm stage 2 or stage 3. And we did scans. And she came back with the scans and she says, Tammy, you're stage 4. I'm so sorry. And I was just devastated. I was crying. I'm like, but we were trying to have a baby. And she says to me, Javi is young, Tammy. He will go on and have babies. You're his baby now. And that was just like stabbing me. I mean, that broke my heart. Just, I don't want to think about him having babies with somebody else. I wanted to have his baby, but times passed and I would want him to go on and have a baby with someone else. I want him to be daddy because he's so good to TJ. And he deserves that. But that doctor, those are the 2 worst things I've heard from doctors. The 2 worst. Yeah. No, only breast cancer. But once the breast cancer spreads through your body, it's still considered breast cancer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't even tell you about our journey to be parents, so I'll tell you that. Okay. So, um, after TJ was born, I had my tubes tied, cut and tied to where I couldn't get pregnant. So, Javi and I have been together for a couple years, and we decided, we want to have a baby. So, I actually flew um, to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and saw Dr. Berger because he's supposed to be the best doctor in the world at reconnecting tubes so that you could get pregnant. So I went and had a tubal reversal. He reconnected my tubes, checked everything out, and said, yes, you can have a baby. And then we tried for a little while, nothing worked. So we were in Colorado. We go to the University of Utah to a in vitro specialist. So we were talking about that to take Javi's sperm and put in my egg and try to have a baby that way. That's when we were diagnosed with cancer. So we were really trying hard to have a baby, and I know he wants that, and that's why I want him to go on and have a baby. Now he'll tell me now it doesn't matter. He's happy with our grandbaby and us, and I know it's true. I do know it's true, but still, I think the time will come for him. Yeah. Yes. hmm My blog, I actually started my blog for my sister who is in North Dakota. And when you're in chemo, it's kind of hard to keep up with everybody because everybody wants to wish you love and check on you, but it's hard when you have a lot of people. So I started that blog just to keep people updated on what was going on with me and let everybody know I'm good. And it kind of just grew into something different than what I actually started it for. I had women that were dealing with the same issues contacting me and following my blog, and it kind of grew into a support system. And I met a lot of wonderful ladies through there, and I feel like it helps a lot of people. And I know for me, when I was first diagnosed, the first thing I did was go to the internet, and I found Terry's blog, Graceful Woman Warrior. She's passed away now, but she was my go-to girl. When I had questions, I would talk to her. She would talk to me, and it helped me so much that I try to give that back to other women that reach out to me. And that's kind of what that's become for me. And I'm so glad I started it because it's helped me, it's helped other people, and I think it's turned out to be a really good thing. Oh, I can't hear you again. Oh, okay. Okay. I have I've done 18 rounds of chemo. I've had a bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction later on. I have had my port surgery. I still have my port right there. They don't, that's where they put the chemo in. It's a thing that goes right to your heart. So I had that surgery. I've had I've done 15 rounds of whole brain radiation over the past couple months. I've had an oophorectomy where they remove your ovaries. And then I've also had the gamma knife surgery on a tumor behind my eye. Right now I'm on a chemo pill with two shots, one for my bones and one that actually works with the pill that I take nightly. And I'm on a brain pill to try to keep my memory as it should be and all my senses together. And I live on hydrocodone, which is it's a mild pain medicine, mild for what I have. I probably on a good day I take two every morning. I wake up and have my pain pill because my joints lock up so bad. So on a bad day, I could take six or seven. I'm allowed to take them every 4 hours, and some days I do. Most of the time, three or four a day. But that's where I'm at right now. Mhm. Okay. Um, I have, with my mom, I have a sister on my mom's side. Her name's Wendy. She lives in North Dakota, and I don't want to say she lives on a farm, but I would say she lives on a farm. And she has, oh my gosh, and with my brain on radiation, I have to think about it, but I want to say eight kids. She could be on that little show, like, you know, the show, what is the show with all the kids and counting? She could have that show, so. And I have a stepbrother, Larry, who lives in Georgia, and that's from my dad's side. My mom is here in North Carolina, and she is just always here to help. She's bringing in groceries when she knew I wasn't eating, whatever she could think that I might eat, like cheesecake, jello, applesauce, it all came to my house. So she's a big supporter. And then my dad and his wife Joyce live in Georgia, so they're really close and they're always driving up to check on us. So, and the kiddos, Corey and Kristen, they drive up, check on us, and hang out for the weekend. We take the baby to the park. And for me, that's good because I probably, some weekends, wouldn't get out. I would not get out without them coming. And they make me feel like I have to get out. I have to go spend this time with them. And even if I'm exhausted, like I'll sleep when they're gone. But that's who's closest as far as my family to us right now. Yeah. Yeah. I am on Main Street in our little town, so there's a car going by. I know. Yeah, yes, you do. Usually it's not this loud. I'm like, what's going on? I think it's after work or it's after school is what it is. Yeah. This is North Carolina. Redneck country is what we call it. I told my husband, the people here are different. Yeah. With the big trucks and yeah. Uh-huh. Oh my God, that's crazy. You know what? But seriously, in this town that we're in, you don't see many brown people. You really don't. We're like in the mountains of North Carolina. I moved my husband to the mountains of North Carolina, but people absolutely love him. They love him. He's been really accepted, and our family's been so accepted by this community in 2 years. It's amazing. Yeah. They did a fundraiser for us at the local brewery here. It's just amazing people around us. Yeah. So we luckily landed in a great place for us. Colorado? Mhm. Yeah. Well, I was working as a waitress and Javi was a cook. So as a waitress, you make really good money, Colorado. And when I started going through treatment, I was not working. I would go through chemo and come home and be down for the day. And so not working and going from two incomes to one, especially when there was not a big difference in our incomes. I think if you make more, you spend more, um, unless you really get tight and think about it. But we were there, we made more money, we spent more money. So when it goes to one income from two, it's a big difference. And when you have a $400 car payment, $150 insurance, I mean, something has to go. And so, yeah, we lost that stuff. But at the same time, we had such great people in the restaurant community where we were that we ended up with money for a car, and people we went from a brand new Chrysler Pacifica to a 2001, what was that car? Dodge Intrepid. And you know what? It didn't matter because we were blessed with a car, you know? So it's hard. You lose a lot. And people don't think about really what you lose with a cancer diagnosis. It's a lot. It's not just, it could be your life, your house, your car. I mean, it's expensive. Treatment's expensive. And initially, it takes you a while to get set up and get help and insurance. And if you don't have insurance, then you're going to pay for your first surgery. We had to pay for my first surgery. And it was just hard to come back from that. Yeah. I know. There you go again. I think it's school buses and stuff. We're on the main drag. Yeah. Javi and TJ have always had the best relationship. TJ was probably up to Javi's niece when we first got together. And at this point in time, with his Asperger's, TJ was not giving me hugs or kisses or any of that stuff. And Javi started playing with him, and every time TJ would come out off the school bus, he would say, "My friend, my friend." That's what he called Javi when we were first together. Javi was his friend. Well, he would run out to him and hug him. I was like, what? He's hugging him. And it kind of, they have been that close from just the first month. And he's helped TJ to grow into such just a helpful, compassionate young man. We're both blessed to have Javi in our lives. TJ's so respectful, and he really stops and thinks about what he should do next. Now he opens the doors for the ladies, and he is aware if I have company come in my front door at the house, he'll come out of his bedroom and say, "Hi, how are you?" and chat for a minute and then go back. And it's things like that, especially when you have Asperger's, that don't happen. So we've made him aware. And a lot of that is Javi, and spending so much time with him, and teaching him what it's like to be a man. And just, I think with him watching Javi with me, I think that in itself is an example, and is teaching him too. So those two they're so close and so tight that I know the two of them together will be fine. And I know that Javi's a gift to TJ. I know it. Yeah. Okay. Javi is illegal. Now, it was never really an issue. It made our life harder. I had to drive everywhere and such, but it was never an issue like, oh, we have to get you legal, until my diagnosis of metastatic breast cancer. At that point in time, it was like, oh, we have to get you legal. So it would have been about March 2013. We got a lawyer and paid her and filed for citizenship. Now, it was probably about a year later that we got an approval letter. An approval letter that he had been approved for citizenship. So we go back to our lawyer with that. And now Javi has a story of his own, but he actually walked across the desert to come here. So that's illegal. That's illegal. Okay. We don't tell people that. Okay. We don't tell people that because there's a whole stigma that comes with that in itself. Well, we were lucky that we had informed lawyers. We got our approval. Now we have to file for a waiver, and it's called a hardship waiver. And we are under extreme hardship because I am, living with metastatic breast cancer. Now I'm living with mets to my brain. And our government will give him a waiver, as in it's like, I'm sorry I did this. Please forgive me and let me come back. So they will do that and not make him go out and be barred for 10 years. Because in general, once you go out, you're barred for 10 years. So this waiver is in process, and it's been in process for what, 2 years now. Now I hear it's at the Biometric Center in Greer, South Carolina, and we have contacted Senator Burr, through our new lawyer in North Carolina, and we're trying to get him to push that up now with my brain mets diagnosis because I need Javi to be legal so that he can adopt TJ so that I don't have to worry what's going to happen. TJ wants to be here. TJ wants to be in our home, in his school district, with his friends. And for him to lose me and then everything else around him would be devastating. I mean, how do you do that to a child? So right now we're just kind of trying to push that waiver through because as soon as that's done, he will go to Mexico for an appointment, come back in, and yeah, he'd be able to drive me around for a while or take me on a cruise. All these things that we can't do because of this piece of paper. And now with the election and everything, it's scary. You never know. But that's where we're at on that. Yeah. I got a drink here. Hmm. Okay. I'm good. Good. Mhm. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not letting another woman have them before I go, though. Ah, that's okay. Before I go, I what's important to me for my husband to know, my hobby is that I well, I love him, and I really, really want that he doesn't live by himself forever. He swears I'll never have another woman, but I want him to know that it's okay. It's okay. I want him to have a woman, but a good woman, you know? Somebody that respects him and is choosing him for the right reasons, and somebody that'll be a good mama to TJ. And I want him to have babies because he is a good father to TJ, and he deserves that. He deserves his own little son. And if he has a girl, he better name her Tammy. I want him to know that. Or at least Lynn. That's my middle name. But um, that's most important for me because Hobby and I have been the constant in each other's life for 11 years. We've been together day and night. I mean, go to work together, come home together, go to the grocery store together. I'm afraid that he would just close up and work to support TJ and take care of TJ, but not do anything for himself. I don't want him to feel the guilt like he's betraying me. You know, his mom passed away and his dad's dating somebody else, and it was hard for Javi to grasp that. But I'm like, no, that's what she wants. She wants him to be happy, and I want Javi to be happy. I want him to not think that he's hurting me or cheating on me. I want him to be happy and live life. Like, do the things I wanted us to do, you know? It's hard now, but if I'm not here, it won't be hard for me to live with. So, I want him to do all those things. If I don't get to go on a cruise, he better dang take my kids and his new wife on a cruise. And then think about me, you know, light a lantern for me and say, we're doing this for you. Ah, my goodness. And then TJ, I have to get TJ adopted by Hobby. I have to get that done before I pass. That's probably the biggest thing. Hobby has to get legal because he is an illegal immigrant right now. That doesn't let him adopt TJ, and I don't want TJ raised in Mexico. The opportunities for him are not there. That can't happen. So it's for my soul to be at peace, I have to help my husband become a legal citizen, get my husband to legally adopt our son TJ, and I can't die without that. I cannot because I don't know what they'll do. The two of them to be separated, for TJ to be even moved to another county is not good for him. With Asperger's, he needs constant, and I am his constant, and Hobby is his constant. And to lose me and everything else around him is just not gonna work for him, and that would be devastating for me. I don't want to pass without these things being undone or being done. It's just it's not like, oh, I want to go to Australia or I want to go here. That's not my bucket list. I want my husband legal and my son to be adopted, and I want to know that they can continue on together because I'll still be with them. I'll always be with them. Oh, oh, man. It's how I get by. But I'm not joking about the Tammy. No. I've told Javi that she better be named Tammy. You know what? Listen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I actually, I actually did find a girl that I thought, I think she would be suitable for my hobby, and she would be good to TJ. And I liked her, and she had. Some people don't have personality, and you just know that they're not going to be good in your family. This is the personality that this lady had. I loved her. She just got married, so she's a newlywed. And I remember I asked her, so how's married life? And she looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what a question. It's really good. I'm a newlywed. Like, but so she's in my mind in case it doesn't work out. I journal about it, and I've told my husband that I love this girl and I love this personality. And would it be an option for him? I don't know. I know I liked her, but I do. And then I'm like, no, no, no. I have a no list because And my husband is so sweet that it's funny. And where we're at, there's not a lot of Hispanics, but I think that I think that he'll choose wisely because he's not like out there. It's going to be somebody that he meets and spend works with or something, and that he likes in a real way. So, but I did have one picked, and if her marriage doesn't work out, she's on my list. Yeah, I actually took I yeah I actually it's in my journal form. Yes. Yeah. He's 30. No, I'm 43. Thank you. I look better with a wig on. And so uh, Javi is 37. No, yeah, he's 37 and I am 43. Thank you. I like it. It saves me money. I did. I had long blonde curly hair. Let me see. Um, any rest? I don't think I have. I'm such a peaceful, loving person. I don't think I have anybody I want to hurt or anything. I'll tell you what I do have though is TJ has a birth father. Do you know what I mean? And that birth father has to let Javier adopt TJ. So I do have that actually, because TJ's birth father and I do not argue. We don't talk either. Um, you know how you have social media, so he's on my Facebook. I know that he sees pictures of TJ that I post. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to keep him away from him. He just was never there. Well, I divorced him, left him, moved away, and he just never was there. I flew TJ to visit him 1 year. I mean, TJ's like 7 on a plane, flew down to see him in Florida. I let him go, and but he just not interested in anything. He hasn't saw him since he was probably 8. But every once in a while, I'll get a message. So how's TJ? And I'll tell him, everything's good. Da da da. What's going on? I'll tell him what's going on. And I know, he sees our pictures and he knows that Javi's good to TJ. So he's good with that. He just stays out of it. But when you talk about Javi adopting TJ, I don't know. I don't know what his stance will be on that. Will that be something I have to fight for? Or is he going to say, okay, he has raised him and he has made him such a good person, and I know that he'll continue to do that. One time I had mentioned it to him a few years ago, and he said, well, I might be okay with that as long as you don't change his last name. And I said, okay. For us, it's not about a name. It's about we're family. We don't care about any of that. It's not about that. TJ wants to change his name later, he can. If he doesn't, it's okay. We just want the adoption. So that I actually do have to deal with that. And I haven't talked to him in probably a year. Maybe once a year I'll give him a call just to kind of, to be honest, to stay on the good side. So that when I want to call and say, hey, can we adopt? That's really why I do it, But that's what I have to do. That is my bridge, I guess. Yeah. Um, there's this thing I saw on Facebook one time, and it says, "My only regret is that I didn't find you sooner." And I would tell Javi that, but then I thought, yeah, what would have happened if I met Javi in my 20s? It wouldn't have been the same probably. So I don't really have any regrets. Everything, good and bad that I've done in my life, good decisions, bad decisions, I am who I am because of them, and I believe they have made me who I am, so I can't regret. Could I say, oh, I regret my first marriage? No, because I don't regret my kiddos. I can't regret. I feel like I have learned so much, and if I could take something away, I'd take cancer away, but that's not reality. So I don't live with regret. I am really just trying to live every moment and make memories. hmm Um, I never thought about that until brain meds, okay? I was recovering from radiation. My mom was here, and I'm like, yeah, I think we should plan my funeral, huh? And she's like, is that something you want to do? And I said, it's not that it's something I want to do. It's just that it's something that I don't want you to have to do. Javi won't be able to do it. My kiddos won't be able to do it. I don't want you to have to do it. So I actually did call a funeral home, and I have his card and number to set up an appointment with him. And I thought, I don't want to plan my funeral, but I don't want my mom to plan it. And I know it would be on her, and she doesn't need that, you know. So I'm going to plan it, and I am going to have a designated balloon blower, and I am going to put these little tags that say, in memory of me, please send a card to my family, and put an address, like a P.O. box. And then I want everybody to get a balloon as on their way out and let those balloons go. I want it to be more of a celebration of my life. And I do want to do my pictures and my video, and yeah, I'm going to do that. That's something that I didn't think about until brain meds, but now I know that it's something I want to do and not put on my mom. So I'm going to start planning that, yeah. But I want it to be more of a celebration because I want people to know that I have lived a good life, and I'm so surrounded by love that, everybody's been so good to me, that I've got a good family, good friends, and I want them to know that I was happy, you know? Gone too soon, but happy and thankful. So I want it to be more like that than
she's gone. So, but I'm getting to work on that, yeah. That is just really hard for me to walk in there and say I'm here to plan my funeral. But I've got the card and I'm gonna push myself to do it soon. Yeah. 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 I know you do. You do. I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do that, but I want them. And then I hope that my family gets cards from the balloons. Who knows? Hmm. Yeah. Oh no, I was wiping my eyes. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do. Hmm. Okay. 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 Got it. I have been divorced twice, and I'm happily married now to my third husband, Javier. And we've been together over a little over 11 years, and we live with my 13-year-old son from a previous relationship um, in Waynesville, North Carolina. Is that good? Okay, good. It was ridiculous. Like the boss came to my house to hire me. I told her it was meant to be. you know. We got married. We got married. June 5th, 2013, because 2014, because cancer. We were happy. We weren't thinking about things. We were loving life, and cancer hits, and it's like, wow, we got to get all this stuff done. So that's what we just were always. We always wore rings. We were married in our souls. So yeah. My biggest fear right now is that, you know, like my friend from the cancer center who had brain swelling and is about to pass. My fear is that I die next month and my husband's illegal and he's not adopted TJ. And TJ is torn to live with my mom, who's in a different, it's not about my mom, she's awesome, but she's in a different school district. And, his life is here. My biggest fear is that I die before my things that need to be done are done. Not before I go here or there, but before my business is done. Before I know that TJ and Javi are taken care of. That's my biggest fear. Yeah. I want people to remember that I didn't give up. Cancer didn't beat me. Cancer may kill me, but it didn't beat me. You know, all this survivor stuff drives me nuts because cancer can come back. 30% chance. So I want people to remember that I was strong, and no matter what I was going through, I was smiling, I was happy, and I was thankful to be alive. And I want them to remember that, you know, I have a love of life, and I hope that they can take a little of that and put it in their lives, and be happy, enjoy the day. If I can be in so much pain and on pain meds and smiling and happy, you can smile at the person walking beside you. You know what I mean? I think that's so important. I go to Walmart. It's like a big retail center here. I don't know if you have Walmart, but people are so nasty sometimes, and I'm like, man, and complaining. If you knew what was under my wig and what I deal with, you would be smiling and you would be thanking the heavens. People take things for granted, and I just want them to look at me and like take a minute, slow down, enjoy life. Look at what's really important. It's not your car, it's not your house, it's your connections, and it's your family. It's what lasts forever. That's what's important. And I want people to take that from me. Yeah. Hmm. Okay.